Hello, Nick here. Got a new radio. New to me anyway. And in case you can't tell, it is All England Day here in Dallas, Texas. Yep. Where's this? This thing was made. Some of the other ones said, there it is. I think it says Hacker Radio Ltd. Maidenhead, Berks, England. So in case you can't tell, this is a Hacker Helmsman RP36, I think. I think it's a RP36. Found it on eBay. Came in from England. It's pretty rough. Yeah, pretty rough when I got it. But I'd read a lot about these things, hacker radios, and they're supposed to be really, like quality, made from good parts, and they were designed to come apart and be serviced very easily, and it was. I mean, I just like glanced at a couple of YouTube videos, and it's like a couple screws here and there, boom, boom, and I got the whole dang thing out of the chassis, out of the case, and cleaning all the switches, all the pots, the band switches. The guy that sent it to me, I mean, basically there was an antenna in there. But it's like I picked the radio up out of the box and turned it over, and the antenna the whole thing just slid out in 3 pieces and fell on the ground. I'm like, thanks, dude. You should have just left that at home in England. Anyway. But I'm like, all right, well, let me see if I can do something with this. So I turned it on and tried it before I took it apart, and it worked. I had to there's a external antenna switch for long wave, medium wave, and then an external antenna jack for shortwave only. So this does shortwave in 3 bands, and then it does medium wave and long wave. And now, part of the coolness, or maybe some people might say less than coolness, is the fact that the scales, the medium wave and stuff, well, not so much this one, but some of the other ones I was looking at, they're in the meters. They're in, it's like, you're trying to figure it out, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's the meter rating. Like, excuse me, like long wave down here, 1200, 1800, that's got to be meters. And then medium wave, I think those are meters. 200, 250 up to 550. And then the dial actually goes backwards from a US radio. So it says 0.55, 0.6. And so that's 550 kilohertz, 1000, 1200, 13. So it's got all that. And then shortwave, it's got the normal kilohertz numbers, and then it's got little meter. It says M, like 11M, 19M, stuff like that above it. So you kind of get both. But, at first it was like you had to look at it a couple of times to try to figure it out. Anyway, so like I said, I got 2 external antenna jacks, one for shortwave, one for long wave and medium wave, and it takes a jack that I don't have. And I tried to stick a 3.5 millimeter external jack like a Texan radio would take, and you can get the tip in there, and if you wiggle it around, it makes contact, and maybe it'll work. And it's like, screw it. So I just terminated my Wellbrook in alligator clips. And then I'll just clip that to the antenna. The antenna now that I put an antenna on it. So let's finish the control. So this is on-off volume, tuning, treble, or actually it's tone. It's treble kind of and bass in the same control. then this is a band spread, like a fine tune for shortwave only. So yeah, so let me stand it up. So I guess these, oh, that's another cool thing. See that? It's got a lazy Susan on the bottom. You can put it on there so you can tune your ferrite bar for medium wave and long wave too, but in the United States there is no long wave. So, and then these were made, I guess, originally just, you look down on them and stuff. My tripod doesn't go high enough. So we're gonna be, I'm gonna lay it down and put the handle out. The handle's kind of beat up. The leather that was on here got torn off, but the rest of it looks pretty good. You should have seen I used Clorox wipes to wipe the case and all that stuff. It came back nasty, filthy. I had to do it 3 times. And then it cleaned up pretty good. Cleaned up pretty good. I mean, like I said, I'm missing the, whatever you call that, fake leather on the top of the handle. There's a couple little dings, bullet holes or whatever, in the speaker grate. But it's not bad. And then the face of the radio, there's no light on it. That's another thing I thought was weird. There's not even a momentary switch to turn a light on. But obviously when I got it, this was nasty. You couldn't even see the white mark here on the knobs and stuff. It was so dirty. So and the knobs were on there. I mean, I had to get in there. Yeah, I thought I was going to break something. But anyway, got them off, soaked them in hot soapy water, cleaned them with a toothbrush. Knobs turned out real nice. The radio comes apart very easily. Well, let me show you that before we turn it on. So the back opens up kind of like a Zenith Transoceanic. It's got spring clips. You just pull it down. So you just pull it down like that. And then you've got access to everything. And it's it's not complicated in there. So obviously you got your ferrite, big ass speaker back there. And then here's the antenna. So what I did was I found an old portable that I didn't even use anymore. So I just stole the antenna out of it. And I had to wrap electrical tape as a bushing to build up around the harness to hold it here. And then I had to do the same thing. There's a rubber grommet that goes up in there to hold the top part of the antenna. And so I built electrical tape on that. So I'm holding it tight here and here, just like it's supposed to be. But the geometry on this antenna is not, I can't put it all the way down, and I can't put it down any lower unless because there's a battery tray right under here. So I'm stuck with this, but this is better than not having an antenna. So I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. And then the dorks, the way they had this, I don't know if you can see this little green wire. That's the antenna feed, and you screw that to the metal part of the antenna. They had it screwed to this plastic saddle that holds it. I'm like, what would I don't know what they're thinking. Anyway, here's the battery tray. Takes 6 D cells. Very nice. And you clip, and and then there's like the clip thing on a 9-volt battery. So on the end of this tray, there's 1, 2 leads, and then there's a thing there, and you just snap it on like that. And then this just sits in there. It fits very nice. Doesn't rattle, doesn't move around. When I got it out, these are all just 1, 2, 3. There's 2 back there, 4, 5, and the antenna, 6. And then this plate pulled out, and then there's 2 screws, and then the 2 screws for the handle, and then the whole radio pulled out of the top, just right out of the top. And then when I had it out, pull the knobs off, these came off, the small ones came off okay. The 2 big ones, man, they were in there. I was afraid I was going to break something, but I got them. And then underneath the 2 big ones, there's 2 little brass screws on each one. So 4 little brass screws, and then you can take this glass plate off. This glass plate that has the marking, the the numbers painted on it. And because mine was filthy on both sides. And so I got that off. And when I had it, before I took it apart, remember when I first turned it on to check it, I checked the dial alignment to see, like, do I need to, like, cheat this pointer, one way or another to try to get my dial accuracy to be better. And I did. I needed to move the cord this way, or not the cord, the pointer, because the pointer's like wrapped around the dial string. And I needed to pull it this way, just a smidgen. So while I had it apart and I got this glass plate off, then I had access to all that stuff, and I could clean the band switches, clean them from the back, all these things. I found access to the backs of the pots for all these. There's a tuning capacitor. That's the thing where the metal fingers go in and out like this. So what I do is I have some high-powered air, and I just blow all that out. I make sure I get all the dust out of there. And then deoxid in both of these, and in this one too. And then, in the band switches. So while it was apart, because with the glass plate off and it out of the chassis, I could get behind it a little bit and let the deoxid drizzle down. And then I could have access from the back looking in. So I got it from a bunch of different angles, got all that. And then I grabbed the pointer, and then I grabbed the dial cord, and I grabbed the pointer, and I put a little mark on it, and I just pull it just a little bit. And I'm like, okay. And I thought I was being, a smart ass, and I thought I was being cute. My dial alignment's going to be perfect. It kind of is on shortwave, but on medium wave, which you'll see, I moved it just a smidge too much. But I don't think you can get it perfect on both medium wave and shortwave, or at least not without aligning the radio, which I have no idea how to do. So, but you'll see, it works really well. So anyway, let's turn this sucker on. Obviously, we're running on batteries. Medium wave. Oh, there's one last thing. So you can see these switches here, right? Push buttons. Well, if you push them, a couple of them the glue must have broke. So like if you push them, the switch pops off. Some of them actually fly in the air and land on a table. It's kind of interesting. All right. So you got the first time it happened, I'm chasing around. Is don't step on it. Don't step on it. So I will, if I get motivated, I might put a little dab of glue on it and put it back in, and because there's a plastic post that it sits on, I might do that, or just put my hand over it when I push one of these things. How much am I going to use this radio? I don't know. Anyway, medium wave, click it on.
Obviously, as a quarterback, you think you're
very powerful audio.
But I didn't let it ruin my goal for being a quarterback. Those two guys are also really talented.
Drew, I think it's interesting in this day and age where parents are very aggressive with
it's
their
called
kids'
trebled, and it says
Mom
min and
dad might go,
max.
My kid's a very talented QB. He needs to transfer to a different high school. Was that ever a discussion, or did your family?
It makes a little difference. You can tell, but not a lot.
I mean, I grew up my whole life watching Vandergrift and going to the games as a little kid, and it never crossed my mind to transfer.
See the white,
all my friends that I
the white,
and I grew up
the white pointer for tuning. All right, so the station we're listening to is 1310, 1.310. So see that? We're on 12, 12 and a half.
6th on the depth chart. 5 years in,
so we're basically on 13.
Could you imagine at this time?
So we're the thickness of the line this way, which on an AM radio with a string and a couple of aluminum wheels, a piece of dental floss, that ain't bad. All right. 1080.
Blacks in greater numbers than have ever been lost.
Right
by
there.
A Democrat. She lost Latinos in greater numbers than ever been lost by a Democrat. She lost young men.
820. So there's 800, 820. Pretty good. 660. All right, there's 650.
Closing the Great North
660.
Sea Oil, the North
570. 550. 570. So
respect and
works pretty good. Sounds good.
In her book, 107 Days, Kamala Harris said she just couldn't pick Pete Buttigieg to be her running mate because he's gay. So she instead chose the definitely not gay, Tim Walz. Here she is explaining to Rachel Maddow why she couldn't pick Mayor Pete.
I was clear that.
So let's put it on. Let's see if we can get anything. Shortwave 1.
Elections for President of the United States again.
See that one almost flew out and hit me in the head. All right, shortwave 1. All right. So what we're gonna do is, I'm just gonna clip my wall brick on here. Hear the gain come up. All right, let's see if we get 15 megahertz. There it is. Look at the dial alignment. 14, a tick mark, 16. Look at that. Really nice. And I'm getting a little RFI. I got a light on right above my head here. And I'm too lazy to stand up and turn it off, so. Let's see if I can stick this in here. No, a little bit. But it's much better if you just clip it on. Let's go to shortwave 2. Which is the second line down. Let's go to 10. See if we get 10 WWV. Nice dial alignment. Let's try the band spread. Off. Watch when I come down, it'll go back like it's centered again. Hear that?
At the tone, 0 hours, 30 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time. National Institute of Standards and Technology Time. This is radio station WWB, Fort Collins, Colorado.
7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, Dallas, Texas.
2.5.
I know that
Whoa.
Islam is love, but to be honest, I have a really hard time seeing it in the Old Testament.
MountainHerbs.com.
Hello, folks. Pastor Butch here. Love you all.
Results brought to you by your EU ministers with sponsors from Brazil, India. Contribute for the but how does that set me?
5/9/35.
Will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God.
5/9/50. Not bad. I think that's 5/0/25. Oh, wait, that's 5/0/10. That's 0/25. Cool.
Sleep.
4.840.
So that was updated today.
Let's try that on the bottom. Four. Nope. Can't get it there. 3, 3.2. Might be too early for that stuff. Let's try WWV maybe. 2.24. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Look at that. Slightly to the left of where it needs to be. Pretty good. So, yeah, all in all, on medium wave, it's awesome to have the Lazy Susan spinner thing built in.
For North County until 8 o'clock this evening. 94 degrees right now in Dallas. Stephen Pickering on News Radio 1080.
Did you hear that shit? 94 degrees and the sun is down. It's like past sunset. Still freaking 94 degrees here. And it was like 80% humidity today too. I'm done with that, man.
For only $6, go to your Happy Plates with the $6 IHOP value menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
The signature satisfaction of
This is a strong station, so it doesn't. It's a strong station, and you saw this has a pretty big ferrite bar in it too. So anyway, I like this radio. I really like it, And I like the fact that it's so easy to work on. Yes. So, yeah. And the fact that I had to make a homemade antenna and it sticks up, it's like, all right, shoot me. Who cares? All right. But, yeah, everything works. I was so pleasantly surprised when I just got it and started cleaning all the switches and the pots and everything. And the way the fool had the antenna hooked up, it was the antenna lead was screwed to a piece of plastic. It's like, even I know that that's not going to work. Okay. So anyway, that's it. Just thought I'd show you my new toy. I love me some Hacker. Love it.